Hello, 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 and welcome to Spiritual Life Coaching with Ari Mack. I'm your host, Miss Ari McIntyre, affirmation manifestation expert and a spiritual life coach as well. Thank you so much for joining us this Thursday, December 5th, 2024. We are coming to the end of 2024. I hope it's been a good year for you. We are in Mercury retrograde. And I've got today's topic is going to be about learning with the retrograde and coming to understand how Mercury and retrogrades and energy can affect you. Now, I've been a spiritual life coach for over 15 years. I use astrology, affirmations, and aromatherapy to specifically check in on what's going on within you because that's where the voices have the most power. I use affirmations and aromatherapy and your actual natal chart, which gives me an idea of where your mindsets are and where some choices can be made. Now, you can check me out at candlesbyari.com and get any of the aromatherapy candles with the affirmations that have worked for those particular colors and fragrances for many, many months. You can also set up some time for classes and one-on-one with me. So check candlesbyari.com and spiritualcoacharimac.com. It's a new site we just put up a couple of months ago, and it's had more of my courses because we are getting ready to drop the manifestation boot camp for the next round coming up at the beginning of first quarter of 2025. So lots of stuff going on. So affirmations, aromatherapy, and astrology, that's my jam. Mercury, the planet of communications, is in a retrograde. Now, I won't bore you with retrograde. It just means that the energy is not flowing with us. It's like a current. You know, if you go on the ocean, there's always a current. And depending on how it flows, sometimes you're flowing with the current. Sometimes you're not. Hi, guys, on the YouTube. How are you doing today? I'm live on YouTube under Spiritual Coach Ari Mack and on Instagram under Countess by Ari. So check me out there as well. So when we have Mercury going retrograde, okay, this is where our thought processes, how we, you know, communicate with one another, how we connect with one another. This is when this begins a little. Now, as you guys know, we use AI and computers to for a big chunk of our lives. I know I use it a lot. So these things are made by man, and they're computers. So there will be some issues. Okay, now if you subscribe to any of my blogs, you'll be getting some information about this because I'm just trying to give forecasts that can help you stay positive. Because retrogrades are about revealing. To me, they really give you a chance to reorganize yourself and reinvigorate things that maybe you need to learn. Maybe that's how you learn. Don't know. So before I forget, the candle for this month, for December, is the forest green candle. It's got that non-champa in it. I don't have any samples of it today, but because it's just been really busy, you guys. But blessings, blessings, blessings busy, you know. So, but the candle of the month, which is featured at Candles by Ari, is the forest green. Okay? All right. So when you go into a Mercury kind of situation, and Mercury is normally ruled by Gemini and Virgo. They share that planet. One's an air sign and one is an earth sign, but they're both mutable, meaning they both are flexible. Okay. When you have it in a Mercury that's in Sagittarius, which is a part of the fire signs, right? Got Aries, Leo, and Sag. Now, interesting enough, Mercury in Gemini, okay, is one of the best positions you can be in because sometimes Mercury in Sagittarius makes us very over optimistic. It can make anger kind of come up because it's about a truth, right? And the truth is maybe some things ain't working the way you prefer. The truth is that energy flows at divine design, not at your time. Yeah. All the affirmations and suggestions and classes that I'm setting up for you guys to connect, that is for you to connect. Yeah. But you have to invest in yourself. You have to put some time and effort into yourself, because the universe gives us everything we need. It's already preordained, it's already there, but we got to put the time in on receiving it. Hey Giselle, thanks for joining us on Instagram. Appreciate. And that, guys, that's where the work comes in. That's where the work comes in. And with Mercury being in Sagittarius, which I'll have a little bit more tidbit at the end of the show, it's a time for you to kind of, not even kind of, it's a time for you to slow down and do some inventories. Because you may have a very sharp tongue right now. Truthful. I'm not saying you're trying to be malicious. I'm not trying to say you're trying to hurt anybody. But your tongue may be very unwittingly painful. And that's what retrogrades do. They reveal that if you feel a certain way about something, you feel a certain way about something. Now, I am going to be doing monthly reports for all the signs for those who want to be a part of that. So definitely opt in at my websites, because that's going to be, I'll give the 30 days for free. And then if you like it, because we're going to be doing some stuff on that one, because I hear you guys. You want more information, you want more follow-up, but that's not a problem. As long as there's a need, there's always a way. There's always a way. Always a way. But sometimes we just got to slow down. Maybe sometimes, as part of our spiritual development, we have to slow down and be able to tune in and go, okay, what's really happening here? What are we trying to make happen? And in slowing down, guys, you know what we offer? Peace. Peace within. And when you have that peace, then you can make better choices, because you're not coming from a place of anxiety and doubt. Maybe you get a chance to do some more research. Okay? Spend a little bit more time with some aromatherapy. Now, the candle of the month, which is the forest green candle, has non-chapa in it, which is, I just find to be a very soothing sign of just peace. And the forest green represents prosperity and growth. Prosperity and growth, because those need to go hand in hand. You need to be prosperous and continue to grow, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's healthy. As long as you're in divine order within self, like you're not abusing yourself and others to do things like that. That goes into the realm of manipulation. Yeah, you're doing stuff. You're fucking with people. So it's not always nice. And with the retros in this nature, because we have several retrogrades. Venus is in Capricorn. Mars is in Leo. Jupiter is in Gemini, retrograding. Saturn's in Pisces. It's going to be there for a while. Uranus is in Taurus, also retrograding. Neptune is in Pisces, also retrograding, and then Pluto's in Aquarius. So that's a lot of energy going in the opposite direction of the energies that we want to flow. It's also the holiday time, so we have a little bit more time available. The time actually changed. Did you remember? There we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, so guess we got this or that, this or that. This or that. All right, guys. So I got to take a break. We're on K4HD.com. Spiritual Coach Ari Mac. Come on back after break. Oh, my goodness. Hold on. Hold on. I'll be right back. Hi. Good holidays. And we're back on k4hd.com live today. This Thursday, December 5th, 2024. I was talking about some astrology stuff, just giving you where the planets were. Later in the show, I'll do a quick little tidbit for each of the signs. If you want to hear it, if you miss it, definitely check out the episode on iHeart, and it's carried all over the place, so you guys can definitely find me. And like I said, don't forget, this is just a tidbit. If you want to change, you want to grow, then you got to check out my programs. They work. Only to the degree that you work them. You have to be ready to participate because life is in progress. And we are in co-creation with everything we want, good and bad. You got to own that. Everybody does. We all have that little in us that we know is kind of like that little ass. That's, like it, lump it. That's how you feel about it. So you have to own the whole thing. Okay. So Mercury retrograde. Let me talk about Sag a little bit, because with Sagittarius is they love to explore. They rule justice. They're like the little independent nature. Like, let's go check this out. Like, I got a friend who will always be the first one to say, I'll jump and do it. And I'm like, sit down. Because she's just a Sag. She just wants to see what's going to happen. She's just adventurous. And that is a beautiful thing. And it's also a mutable sign. So it has the ability to be a little bit more flexible, which is also nice. And it's a fire sign. Fire. Now, I was reared by a Sagittarius woman. They're very clean. I mean, very generous, very sweet, but very about they stuff. They have very clear direction. At least my mother did. I can't speak for every single Sagittarius person, particularly mothers in the world. This is only speaking from my personal point of view. She was clear about how she wanted all that shit in that house to run. She's like, "This is my house. This is how this shit's gonna run." And we were like, "Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am." And for that, we had rent, we had food, we had gifts, we had clothing. You know what I'm saying? She made it clear she was the captain of the motherfucking ship. So, that's how I was reared, with the Sagittarius energy of that nature. But in general, they're just very adventurous souls. And Mercury's sitting smack dab in that position right now. So wherever you have your Mercury, see, if it's in Sagittarius, and just see how it's, making you feel. Do you have a little anxiety? Having a hard time sleeping? You know what I mean? Maybe a little constipated because, when you're not sleeping, you're probably not eating right. You're probably not drinking enough water, right? And slowly constipation starts kicking in. Hey, I'm just keeping it real. Sometimes you're just full of shit. Sometimes you're just full of shit. And see, these things are easily remedied, guys, because you don't have to go to a doctor and on and on and on. You can just simply put some more fiber into your diet, or put more something that's a little bit more softer, be it, on some of the man-made projects, because they have so many things on the market now. Or, eating more prunes, drinking some prune juice. I don't know. But, whatever it is, just find a way to build that extra fiber and maybe a little bit more water. Yeah, that water thing. That 64 ounces, 24 hours. Yeah, that'll keep some mental balance right there. Because when you start getting dehydrated, guys, you start feeling that ashiness on your skin. That's what black folks call it, ashy. My skin's ashy. It's dry skin. Yeah, your skin's dry because you're not hydrated enough. So therefore, your skin, hair, nails, teeth, they're the last ones to get any nutrients in this whole big old project of your body, right? They're the last one on the totem pole. And by the time they get it, there's no absorption left. It's just, oh. So just think about how much more supple your skin would be with just having an extra little hydration, you know? Speaking of that, I'm going to have me a little hydration. hmm I try to get at least 4 of these 16 ounces a day in. So I try to make sure that I'm at or a little over the 64 because that's just better for my mentals and it's better for yours as well. Now, if you guys haven't, you guys need to be following me. Okay, I'm on all the social medias, either under Candles by Ari, all one word, or if you go over to the YouTube, it's Spiritual Coach Ari Mack. Okay, and on TikTok, the same thing. I think it's Ari Mack, and then I have a Spiritual Coach Ari Mack account as well. But let's follow, because I'll follow you back. Just got to hit me and say, hey now. So I'll remember you came from the shows, okay? Because it's time for us to connect on a spiritual level. It's time for us to stop acting like we don't know what's wrong but from coming from within. We have to own that some of this nonsense that happens, we have to take control of it, starting with our minds and our spirits. And that's what we offer at Spiritual Life Coach Ari Mack. That's what we offer. That's what I do. Because you have to get your head together before you can do anything for anybody. And even with your head being together, you have to continue to maintain it. And that's a whole nother trick. Because getting something is one thing. Maintaining it is a total different story. Yeah. And see, that's the thing about when you're committed to life or a project or have a passion for something. That passion doesn't leave you, even though you go through ups and downs and, sometimes don't even want to do it. It's like a marriage. I don't even want to do it, but I committed to it. So I have to continue to try, right? And if it's healthy, it'll get better. But if it doesn't get healthy, then, that speaks for itself. So energy is much like that. Is when we're asking the universe and we're explicitly saying these things, as long as we can remember the universe hears us, but they need us to hear and listen and take those time out to just breathe and let them do the work with us. And that's why my mindful meditation classes, okay? Yeah, right? Right? One of the people on Instagram's like, well, yeah, the fuck you, yes. Because, whew, it's not just us on this planet. There's a lot of living beings on this planet. Some are healthy, some not so healthy, some just damn scary, and they're on this planet. Now, I'm not saying you got to go towards the fire, but you can make sure you have some healthy boundaries. You're taking care of yourself, and you ain't trying to get into no crazy shit. Not on a conscious level anyway. You make a conscious decision to keep it real and dust yourself off and try again. I think there was actually a song by Aaliyah. If you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. Dust yourself off and try again. Try again. So I'm just saying, guys, with the energy that's happening right now, you really need to make sure you're self-soothing. You need to make sure that you are getting those at least 6 to 8 hours of solid sleep down. Make sure you're drinking your water. Don't try. Have a place to put the bottle so you can see for yourself if you're really trying. And just be honest with yourself and try to come up with a different way. But accountability right now for self is so important because Sag rules truth, justice. And in Greek mythology, Zeus was considered to be, the Jupiter planet, which rules Sagittarius. And Zeus was he was a slutty sign. He was a slutty male. He turned himself into anything to hit anything. I mean, he was just a nasty little rascal, and eventually had all kinds of species. And we talked earlier in the show about Sag being a adventurous sign. So this is a part of the myth that where Sagittarius gets that from. And I won't even go into the stars. I'm not going to touch that. We'll do that in a future episode or in behind the scenes. But The planet, him, the whole thing's about expanding, guys. And making sure you got, is it going to be this or that? Where you at? All right, the spiritual coach, Ari Mack, K4HD.com. We're at the halfway point. See you soon. Peace. Bye. I'm going to jump over to my TikTok. Bye. Mm-hmm.
I'm frugal and hate.
Don't believe me, just watch. Spiritual Coach Ari Mack on K4HD.com. We're learning from the retro, you guys. We're learning from the retrograde. Mercury, planet of communications, is in retrograde, yes. And we always have so much fun with that, don't we? Now, I told you the first half, all the planets and their positioning. Now it's going to be about learning. What do you learn? What do you learn? Because, see, this is also a time when whatever is bothering you is going to bother the shit out of you. Yeah. Yeah. Because once you start getting into a position of, healthy habits or not so healthy habits or just downright don't give a shit habits, that's that's the road that you're choosing to take. Okay. Now, retrogrades can be very revealing, but you have to be ready to, listen. Now, I told you I have reports and I have information that can help you personally on your way. But you have to connect with me. You have to invest in yourself. You have to invest time in what we do. And we offer classes, we have programs, and we're expanding. Because the need, that depression, that mental illness, I truly believe if you can hear my voice and you're listening to the show, something inside of you knows you have another way to deal with things. You don't know how that is, you don't know which way it is. But if you can find some more information, if you can find a way to keep yourself calm, okay, you can easily give yourself energy to actually move on to where you need to be in the next level. Mm-hmm. Right? But it's about learning how to balance that energy, guys. And that's why I'm a manifestation expert, because that takes focus, that takes discipline, that takes divine guidance. And as a spiritual coach, it's one of my specialties. Because that darkness, it's real. That anxiety, that fear, that doubt, it's real. It exists. And it can take you down. Because it's darkness, guys. It's darkness. And a lot of it can be prevented if you have self soothing techniques, which is one of the things that I help you and I teach you how to use to learn how to self-soothe so that you can continue to flow in the direction you need to go into for your heart, for your mind, for your spirit. And that takes time, guys. That takes energy. That takes focus. So I'm going to ask you to use the affirmations. Use the affirmations that I put out now. They're on the products. There's plenty of affirmations. Now, I have some specific affirmations that I've developed that have worked for many, many, many moons for a lot of my clients. And you can get them at my website, candlesbyr.com or spiritualcoachrmac.com. But either way, listen to your heart. Slow down. Now, Mercury retrograde is going to be going on to the 14th. So it will be done before Christmas. Yay! All right, but it's going to start peaking this weekend, probably between Sunday and Tuesday are going to be the biggest challenge because then it starts leveling off and it just comes to an end. So it's going to peak and then stop. So we're hitting up the peak hood now. Yeah. And it's like, have you ever been on a roller coaster ride at any of the carnival places and you're going up against gravity and your skin's being pulled back and you can feel your compression? And all of a sudden you get to the top and it just drops your ass and starts spinning you around. And you're like, holy moly, why'd I do this? What made me think this was a good idea, right? Yeah, that's how Mercury is. It just gets you a certain peak and then it goes, okay. And hey, I've just observed over the decades, like my entire life, that even if nobody else believes me, I can pull statistics from stats, from hospitals, police reports, around those time periods. So it is an energy that does exist. So that's why I say protecting your mental well-being is your task in this lifetime. And to create a healthy environment. Because you know the sweetest revenge for anything that's ever happened to you is to live well, to be happy, to take whatever that was and flip it around and it don't bother you no more. To make yourself the priority and take care of your mental well-beings. Affirmation, aromatherapy, astrology works. I'm a spiritual life coach. I'm telling you. Now I'm going to have astrology reports. It's going to be a monthly thing, but I'm going to need your help because you got to give me your information for us to be able to connect. So go to, like I said, my websites and join. I'm going to start sending that out soon as well. Listen, I just know transformational energy is taking place. We have some stationary things that are going to be happening for the next 20 years. So I don't want to fight progression. I don't want to be one of those people who said coulda, shoulda, mighta. So when in doubt, just, be still for a moment and wait for a sign. Wait for something to be a clear cut, I feel comfortable, and let that be your guide. Or better yet, use the affirmations that we've had on this show that's on the product and try those for 21 days. Just 21 days. Say a positive affirmation when you get up in the morning and before you go to sleep at night. Just 2 times a day for 21 days and see what happens. But you got to do it with conviction and you have to be consistent. Because with Mercury being in this position, whatever has been bothering you will be revealed. With it being in Sag, you may have some renovation issues. I wouldn't do any renovation or sign any major deals during this retrograde. No siree, Bob. I had a client once who went to get a divorce. And I told her, please don't start this divorce during this retro. Wait till the retro's over. She was so mad, she went ahead and put the paperwork in. It took her 2 years and all kinds of stuff to get a divorce, which they didn't have any assets, they didn't have any kids. It was just all technical things that just weren't done correctly. Drove her crazy because she wanted to move on with life and she couldn't because it was like haunting her, you know? But I asked her not to do it. And she had to do it her way. So we all have to learn differently, you know? And sometimes, what's that, FOFA? I got that off the TikTok. TikTok is so adorable. FOFA. Just, you know what? Sometimes people just need to have their process, you guys. And the energy that they self-soothe with is just a little different than yours. That's what I'm saying. Is it this or is it that? Love this song. All right. We got one more segment. It's Spiritual Coach Ari Mack on K4HD.com. Come on back. Ooh. Woo. Answer everybody over here. Hey. Thank you guys so much for joining on the YouTube. Hey, I'll be doing more over here. And how you doing? It's TikTok. Sorry. Hey, I was live on K4HD, so I couldn't really stop to say nothing already yet. But thanks for joining. Appreciate. Okay. Tons of stuff going on. Hi, Brown. Don't believe me, just watch. Spiritual Coach on KPRHD.com. We're talking about learning the retrograde. Well, we have a lot of fire going on. Hey. Thank you guys for joining on TikTok. And thank you so much for joining me on the YouTube page. Guys, I appreciate you so much. I really do. Thank you. Thank you. And don't forget to like, follow, and share. All right, let's get this party started. So, with Mercury being in a fire sign, I'm just going to say all my fire signs. That's my Aries, my Leos, my Sagittarius, especially my Sagittarius. Watch your mouth because you can say some things and maybe hard to take them back. Then you got Venus in Capricorn and Uranus in Taurus. Now remember, this is just overall general for fun. If you want a more specific read for yourself, check out my services at Countess by Ari or spiritualcoacharimac.com. Uranus being in Taurus and Venus being in Capricorn, that's like unusual things happening. It's good, but not normal, not the normal way. So just flow with it, Earth. Because I think you're going to have to just kind of let things fly instead of being so, I understand, I have the format. You told me exactly how it works, and that's what I'm going to do. You know what I mean? You got to flow more. You have to flow. So the Earth, especially with your Neptune still being in Pisces, you know what I mean? Because that automatically gives that extra water, and then Saturn in Pisces as well. It gives that fertileness. It's like having a good cake. It starts off with the right ingredients, right? You got to have a good, dry mix and a good wet mix. So when you put it together, that's what really pops the cakes to make them very moist and very succulent. It's the same thing when you're thinking about your mental well-being. What turns you on? What soothes you in a healthy way? I'm talking healthy. Please don't get weird with me, okay? Just stay on the side of spiritual, mental, well balancedness. Do you know how to meditate? Do you know how to self soothe? Do you know when to disengage with bullshit? Do you even like where you are in your existence? Are you cool with what's happening with you? Now, if you've answered no to several of these things, then definitely reach out. I'll send you an invite to one of my Zoom classes when we start up, because it's time for you to start thinking about, what am I saying to myself? And I have testimonials of people who have, done their thing and grown and learned and now are very, very happy with the direction that their lives are going in. Because it was their choice and they made it and they manifested that. See, that's power, guys. To be able to manifest what you want. That's power. To be able to call in the universe and they hear you. They hear you and your prayers are answered. It's like the story of when Pharaoh told the children of Israel he wasn't going to give them any more straw to make bricks. And they needed the straw to make bricks. That's how they made their bricks. And he says, no, I'm not going to give you. And of course, they freaked out, tripped out, because that's the first response when something changes. Ah! Because we're like, where the hell are we going? What the fudge are we doing, right? And then you have to kind of start, okay, let's do some assessments, let's do some evaluations and some analysis, and let's start thinking through this, right? Well, that's how the universe works with us, that they start shifting things. And as long as you are being truthful with self, even if it's not pleasant, that's healthy. You're going in the right direction. Because with my water signs, we have a lot of water, with Pisces being in this natural planet. That's the strongest one, to be honest with you. And then Pluto's being Aquarius, it's the air thing happening. But and Neptune and Pisces, yeah, that Pisces, your dreams, water signs are very profound. They're very profound. You may want to write them down and or try to capture them in some way, because later on you may have a message to yourself. It's like a message in a bottle. So, and the sleep, guys, this goes for all the signs. You have to make a conscious effort to get some sleep. You're going to start acting like asses, okay? If you do not rest, you will not make sense. People will not understand you. You will end up in Cuckooville. It's not a real good residency. The food is horrible and the place is disgusting. Nothing is well kept. Nothing. All right? So I'm just saying to you, we can avoid that by learning to affirm for what we want, to learn how to use meditation, use aromatherapy. It's all around you. Check out my color and meaning page. Okay? Just Google Candles by Ari color and meaning page. And here are the basic suggestions. And I kept it very simple and to the point on some of the fragrances that you can possibly have around you right now. Because between aromatherapy and positive thinking, and of course, taking care of yourself, because I got you with the astrology. Okay? Especially if you want to know more. Today I'm just giving out tidbits, just little pieces of information, just to overall help soothe your mind and help find your spirit in a good space. See, we can get with this or we can get with that. You can get with negativity, you can get with positivity. You can stay neutral. You can decide to stay in the fight and just fight, or work for a solution by being a part of something that can bring that change that you're asking for in a healthy way. And manifesting starts with you, sweetheart. It starts right here with you. So you start manifesting within yourself your simple goals, those baby steps, and then let the universe continue taking bigger and bigger steps with you. And that's what my spiritual coaching is about, is getting you through those steps and helping you manifest what your true desire is in this lifetime. Because if it's something in your heart, then the universe wants you to have it. I've helped hundreds of people do this. So join me, follow me, like me, connect with me. Let's bridge this gap between this and that and make it us and being okay with healthy parameters. God dang it. Because some shit don't make no sense to you. And you know what? You call it, it don't make no sense to you, it don't make no sense to you. What, you can beat somebody up because it don't make no sense to them? Sometimes shit don't make no sense to me either. But, I may have a different tolerance because I may be in a different mindset. Who knows? All I know is this here, we can do this together. Join me. Grab yourself some affirmation aromatherapy candles. The affirmations on the candles work. They have for many, many moons. Now, they are handmade, so it takes me time to make them. I only make them when you order them, so they don't just sit. But they're all QC'd by me, and this is my labor of love. Now, we also have meditation classes. We're on a different schedule with the holidays right now, so do check in, and I will be sending out emails giving as many updates. I may record some things and have you guys use them. And we just have a lot of shifts, and they're good shifts. They can be good shifts. I'm not going to say they're going to be fun. Work sometimes isn't, but it's better to choose to work and do what you love than to have to work and do what you just need. And it's not a fun need. It's you're doing it simply for the money, which, hey, total respect, there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. But energetically, you need to also be centered enough and happy enough where you're blessed by it. It doesn't harden you and make you turn into an asshole. I'm just saying. All right? So, deep breath in and release. Another deep breath in and release. Please make sure you're doing this water thing, especially during this holiday. If you feel lonely and not sure, please contact your local churches, your community division centers. They have different holiday things happening. Please check with your local area for public events, just for reach out purposes. If you can, volunteer somewhere. I know the Salvation Armies, all the food banks, they always need a little bit of help during this time this year. So try to be of service. If you don't feel like you can do nothing else, there's always somebody that can always need a little help from you. Okay? So don't forget to give where you're given, and treat those well that treat you right. And those that are not so nice to you, let them be. Let them be. There's no sense in even trying to sit there and debate with the jackass. My grandma told me a long time ago as a little girl, don't be debating with no jackass, because jackass ain't going to let you win. They're always going to find a way to fight with you or argue with you or bicker with you in some way, shape, or form. And you know what? She was absolutely correct. And it's stressful. You ever notice that when somebody's not happy, eventually they want you to be with them in that unhappiness on some level? I find that fascinating because for me, when I'm not in a good space, I just want my space so I can sort out what's going on in my noggin. I choose to isolate and work through it. And only my true family and friends will be close because they already know I'm just working some stuff out in my head, which means I may not be talking or being that interested. I'm just checked out. And that's okay. Nothing wrong with it. There's no gun to anybody's head. If we don't do something, guys, you should be okay with it. You shouldn't always feel like if you don't do something, you're stressing and something's going to happen. And, recently, one of my clients had the realization that she prays for the best to happen, but she expects the worst. That was her epiphany. She actually heard herself say, I pray for the best, but I actually expect the worst. And I thought that was so profound because she realized that the preparation that she was doing was not to prepare for the good, even though good did come, but it always came with addendums and some strings and some of this and some of that. Have you been in touch with that? And it boiled down to the choices that she was allowing to be made for herself. She didn't have those parameters. She didn't have those boundaries. And sometimes you got to have those boundaries with everybody. Just they don't know what's going on in your noggin. They don't know how you're feeling. So, treat people the way you want to be treated. All right, guys. Thanks for joining today. Thank you, YouTube. This episode will be up on iHeart probably in the next week or so. Stay blessed. Bye.